go with some of the new colours. This is the Dirty Mountain. This is Calypso. So you can see I do use a lot of ink, but there's never any waste. And this is the when I've added lots of ink, I then add more water. It just makes it easy for people. Everything I do is really easy. So you can see how it's blending together. Then I take this page and I just press it onto the top. And you can see how the ink transfers across. And it's the depth of the colours. The colours, my colours as they say, are just gorgeous. And you can see it's as strong on here as it is on here. So this I end up with piles at the side of me and then I decorate them separately and put them back on. I'm never bothered about this mess anywhere. It's just part of the process. So then the next thing that I would do would be to ghost. So these are my original stencils. Circles, I'll use this one. So this is why my inks are so different, because they're made to repel the water. So you can place that on there, I just spritz some water through. I always use, there's water on here, I always flip it over just to get a different, because we're just building up the background. And then I'll spritz through, and then I take the kitchen roll, and can you see how it lifts the ink out? So people say all the time, can you do it with other people's ink? Yes, you can, but it won't lift out as nicely as that. You'll just get a vague effect. Whenever you do it, it picks up some of the ink. So again, I just take that, just press it into my journal. So that's the start of another page going there. When I've added that, now this is quite wet, usually I just move on to another page or another journal and come back when it's dry, so that I'm just going to give it a quick dry because I want to add more paint, more ink over the top, and if it's still wet it will just blend, and I don't want it to blend in, so I'm just going to lightly dry it. And my inks you can come back to at any time. I could have sprayed this and in 6 months come back and do this, or in 3 weeks come back and do this thing, because I don't need my inks to be permanent, because I don't want them for fabric or anything like that. I like to be able to use them whenever. So I can come back, I could go back in here and ghost this even more. So then I'm going to show you my white on the top. Because we're going on ink, remember it will pick up the colour of the ink that's underneath as well. So we just need to always remember to shake it. It's best with the lid. Always shake it. It's going to go. I've done it so many times and blobbed on somebody. It's the only one I keep the lid on. All the others no. So you just shake it, just because the pigment will sit. The pigment is heavier than the liquid, so it sits on the bottom. So we're just going to give it a shake, and then I'm just going to lightly spritz on the top, and spritz here, and you can see. But you can see how it's starting to soak in. So this will end up pale green, this will end up blue. So you could either leave it to soak naturally, you can see how it's getting fainter on there, or you can just blot it. And then again, I'll take this, stick it in my box somewhere else. Now, because there was pink ink on this stencil, because I've added the white pigment, I've now got a pastel pink, but this will be semi-opaque as well. So you can take these empty bottles and you can make all of these into semi-opaque pastels by just adding these, a bit of this and a bit of that, and it will blend through.